Hello, friends, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Echoes of Saturday. This is your one-stop shop for all things related to college football. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Mason.
And let's cut the formalities. Get right into it. The AP Top 10 for Week 10.
For Week 10, of course. So, in the one spot, no doubt there, we have the defending national champions, Ohio State.
Yep.
Number 2, we have another great team out of Indiana. Number 3, we got Texas A&M. Number 4, we have Alabama. Number 5, we have Georgia. For the next 5, I'm going to turn it over to Jimmy.
All right. At 6, we have Oregon. 7 is Ole Miss. 8 is Georgia Tech. 9 is Vanderbilt. And for 10th, we have a tie between Miami and BYU. Now, in that top 10, there's I'd say 3 surprises overall. Obviously, Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt. They're going to be the stories this year.
Of course. 2 surprise teams coming up that are performing very well this season.
And then, be remiss if we did not mention what the job Coach Ignetti's done at Indiana.
Phenomenal job. Getting them from, I don't even think they were in playoff contention at all last year. And now they're number 2 in the top 25.
It's just, with all those programs, it's just been remarkable turnaround.
Phenomenal.
Then the rest,
pretty basic.
Yeah, you expect those teams to be there. A&M, big win down in Death Valley.
Very big win.
Saturday night. Actually led to Brian Kelly getting fired for the LSU Tigers.
Yes. I just want to throw out number 12. We have Notre Dame going from second place last year all the way down to middle of the pack for the top 25.
Well, they had some rough losses to Miami and A&M to start the year. So they're rebounding. Obviously, Coach Freeman, one of the best in the business. And yeah, they look solid and ready to make a run. At this point, it's just a matter of can they get themselves back into hosting a playoff game at South Bend again, or will they have to begin their quest back to the national championship on the road?
On the road, and then bowl series. I think now we should move into some recap of the ranked games over the weekend.
Yes, we shall. And a quick note, this recap will only include games in which both teams are ranked and any rivalry games. So, last week, Week 9 in college football.
Big week for rivalries and ranked games.
One of the few ranked games was Texas A&M LSU. That was a 49-25 victory in favor of the Texas A&M Aggies. And they looked really good going into one of college football's harshest environments.
LSU, super loud stadium, up there with some of the big names like Penn State, and even, dare I say, Texas A&M itself.
Marcel Reed for the Aggies went 12-21, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and an additional 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Great stat line for that game.
In terms of the Tigers, Nussmeier went 22-35, 168 yards, and a touchdown. So yeah, the Tigers, they're just kind of floating around there.
Just floating around. Did they get outscored by 2-1? Was it 50-25 or 49?
49-25.
49-25.
Now, in terms of the rest, obviously, game day's location last week. Number 9 Vanderbilt taking on number 19 Missouri. Vanderbilt, that Hail Mary, inches short.
Inches.
For the Tigers of Missouri.
No shift in the rankings from that game either.
Not a big shift in terms of Vanderbilt. Obviously, Missouri's going to fluctuate a little bit.
Of course.
But Diego Pavia.
Very surprisingly good job from him.
We're talking about him as a Heisman candidate.
I'm not surprised.
He's got the Commodores back and they're rolling. And
yeah.
All they really have left is Tennessee, and that's like the last big game on their schedule.
And that should be a pretty easy mediocre challenge for them. That's how they've been playing recently.
Yeah, that'll be a big challenge. It's in Knoxville this year.
It is.
So, you figured 10-2. That was good enough for most teams last year to get in. You go 10-2. I mean, as Ohio State showed, you can drop the last game of your season and still be fine. So
Still be fine. Yeah.
they go to Knoxville and they drop that game, and they end up 10-2. There could be a playoff game in Nashville. Elsewhere, Ole Miss defeated Oklahoma 34-26.
Not much surprise there.
No, the Sooners are starting to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Sooners have to go to Tennessee this week.
This week, yep.
7:30. It'll be fun.
It's a late game.
Yeah. Obviously, in terms of big rivalry games, Michigan State, they don't like each other.
They hate each other. Nah, Michigan is ranked rather low this year. 21.
Yeah, they've struggled at times. But in terms of Michigan State, that was a 31-20 victory in favor of the Wolverines. Yeah, Underwood went 8 of 17 for 86 yards, no touchdowns. Justice Haynes had 26 carries for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. So really, kudos to the Michigan ground game.
Yes.
Because that's what really carried them this week.
Then again, Michigan State's air defense has been pretty solid this year.
Yeah. I think there was only one other bigger rivalry game. Tennessee,
Kentucky.
and let's just say it was a rough night for the Wildcats.
Yup.
56-34 in favor of the Volunteers. I mean, from the get-go that game,
Yeah.
Tennessee was just doing as they pleased. Aguilar went 20 of 26, 396 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Wow. I feel like that was a very underwhelming game for the Kentucky coaches. I feel like they were expecting more from their players.
In terms of Cutter Baldy for the Wildcats, he went 26 of 35, 330 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 pick. But yeah, all the talk preseason about how, Yamale Alva left Tennessee, we really don't know, Aguilar.
They're looking good.
They're looking really good, and if they win out, they beat Florida in Gainesville, they're in.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like at this point, they're just playing for a home game.
Yeah. I mean, they're not talking about Aguilar much in terms of Heisman. They need to.
They need to start.
I mean, really, his only bad game was the Alabama game, and that nighttime in Tuscaloosa.
Against the number 4 ranked team here in Week 10.
You figured that was going to be rough. But Tennessee looks good.
Tennessee looks very good this year.
It's just a matter of surviving that last little bit of the schedule.
That last stretch it's make or break.
And elsewhere, Miami pounced Stanford 42-7. Oregon played some great defense in a 21-7 victory over the Wisconsin Badgers. Texas held on to beat Mississippi State 45-38. And yeah, that's about it in terms of games from last week. How about some picks for next week?
Yeah, for some picks, I'm going to do Big Ten. He's got SEC. Let's start here in the Big Ten. So, big matchup. We have Ohio State versus Penn State. I think we got Ohio State winning this one.
Oh, easily. Penn State's had such a rough go of things. Obviously, they fire Franklin, Aller's out, and yeah, they have just not had a good time this season.
Yeah. Now, moving here closer to home, we have Indiana versus the home state Terps here in Maryland. I'm going to say Indiana here.
And I got to agree with you. The Terps, especially in Big Ten play, have just not looked great. And you're going up against a Razor in Indiana, so
At the 2-place team in top 25 polls.
yeah,
Pretty undisputed number 2 up there.
you get out of there not entirely crushed.
Yeah.
That's a victory.
Yeah. If I'd be surprised if they put up even 14 on them.
Yeah, no, I'd be surprised if they do much of anything.
Yeah. Now, shifting gears, we have Purdue at Mississippi.
Michigan.
Michigan, my bad. I think we go Michigan here.
Yeah, in the big house. Obviously, it's Purdue. Michigan's got a really great chance, especially with that ground game.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of can they be consistent on offense?
Watching them play against Michigan State this weekend, I feel like they have a great chance to win and even possibly use the word trample here in Purdue.
I could see that happening too.
And now we have
Nebraska at University of Southern California, not South Carolina.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go USC here. Might be a bit closer than the other three, but probably still going to be more widespread.
Yeah, I can see that. That's some SEC.
I'm glad to hear it.
All right, so what'll be a nighttime game in Neyland, dark mode too.
Yep.
It'll be Tennessee taking on the Oklahoma Sooners.
Who do you got?
I got to give this to Tennessee. Obviously, Aguilar's balling.
Yeah.
That running game's looking good. Whole team's looking good. And it's in Neyland. It's at night. One of the most electric places in all of college football. I just don't see how the Sooners can overcome this.
I feel like it'll be a close game. I feel like there is a way that the Sooners can win, but only if Tennessee doesn't play to their A game or even their mediocre game.
Yeah, they got to have a lot go right. Moving on, the battle for the oar in Jacksonville. The Georgia Bulldogs will take on the Florida Gators. Now, Florida recently fired Billy Napier.
Yep.
Something that feels like it was years in the making.
Obviously. You could see it coming from a mile away.
Didn't we all think what happened last year?
Yeah.
You survived and we went, Now?
No surprise there. So,
Obviously, Georgia, Florida. Georgia, easily. Florida, they haven't looked that great. They make a bowl. It'll be, I'd call that good for them. Texas Vanderbilt, a matchup a year ago. We didn't think it'd be that interesting when we came to it, when the schedule was announced. And yet here we are, in week 10 of college football. And a big-time matchup are the Longhorns of Texas taking on the Commodores of Vanderbilt. And all I will say is this. Give me the doors.
That's going to be a close game.
And I do believe Arch Manning will be out Saturday against Vanderbilt.
Will he?
With a concussion.
Ooh.
That
could wreck their season.
Yeah, they're struggling to hold on.
With all the Heisman talk from earlier this season for Arch Manning, it's not looking good.
No, and obviously, you go up to Ohio State and one of the most widely anticipated college football matchups I've ever seen. You don't do so hot, but it's week 1 on the road.
Yeah.
Defending national champions, you could see that. But yeah, Texas has just struggled to find that offensive gear.
I would have to agree there. I think it could be a close game, but I'm going to also agree with you going Vanderbilt there.
We move on to our last SEC game of the week. The Ole Miss Rebels will take on the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Now, South Carolina last week lost 29-22 to Alabama.
The 4-ranked team this week.
And this is a tough one to predict because, as always with Ole Miss, they're due for an upset. That's just how every season goes. It's like Texas A&M going 8-4.
Yes.
That's just science. In South Carolina, I could be wrong. And I could revisit this Sunday and say, oof, off by a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the upset pick here.
You're going with the upset here?
Give me the Gamecocks over the number 7 Rebels, 8. This is one of those.
Wow.
They were close, so you just feel like Beamer's squad, they're due for a big upset.
They've got that mood change that they need. I'm actually going to disagree with you here. I'm going to go Ole Miss, but I can see where you're coming from with
I can definitely see the Ole Miss pick. Now, in terms of other notable matchups, The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame will take on the Boston College Eagles. No surprises there. It's probably going to go heavily in favor of the Irish.
That'd be an upset for the century.
Now, a ranked game will be the Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Utah Utes.
Ooh. That's a lower ranked top 25?
17 and 24.
Okay.
I like Cincinnati in this game.
Yeah. I think we go Cincinnati.
In an ACC matchup, the Hurricanes of Miami will be taking on the SMU Mustangs.
Ooh.
Could be intriguing. One, Miami came up short of the playoffs last year,
Yep.
while SMU made it in.
I will probably be going SMU for this game.
Ooh, big upset right there.
Yeah.
Over
I'm going
number
for the
10.
upset. Seeing how Miami's been playing recently compared to the start of the season, they've started to be on the decline. SMU's been playing good, consistent football in their brand for the entire season. They've had one game here or there that fluctuates, but I feel like this might be the game where they finally put everything in place.
I'm going to be lame, and I'm going to take the Hurricanes here.
No surprise there.
They're number 10. They've looked really good. Obviously, they stumbled, but yeah, Beck looks really good in Miami. And yeah, I got to go with the Hurricanes. Fight and get a spot because the ACC is crowded
Yeah.
this year. And another ACC matchup, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, one of the stories of the year, and the NC State Wolfpack. Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Of course.
We're not going to go in depth
Yeah.
on this one. That'd just be a waste of time. Then, for something very close to home and potentially controversial, depending on who you like in a certain game, the Navy Midshipmen,
Ooh.
the 7-0 Navy Midshipmen,
Mind you, yes. Yes.
will be taking on the North Texas Mean Green Saturday. Now, Navy's interesting because they're in the American Athletic Conference, and it's very likely that that conference is the one that'll get the Group of 5 bid into the playoff.
Yeah.
And if Navy can only lose once, and that loss is to Notre Dame,
Notre Dame, yeah.
but still win the AAC, it's very likely that it's going to be Navy in the playoff.
Yeah.
And Army-Navy shouldn't matter, right? Because that would happen after the playoff committee makes their picks.
I believe that happens a week after.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Army-Navy shouldn't matter. I mean, obviously, it does, because
One of the most watched games in college football.
you
but-
hate them, they hate you.
Yeah.
But Army-Navy should matter in terms of playoff.
In terms of playoff standings, yeah.
But yeah, Horvath looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Navy looks great. They're undefeated. And yeah, I gotta think they're starting to really ponder the idea of playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's everything.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it over to, I guess, myself for the historical moment of the week where we relive a major time frame. But I think
Yeah.
I'll be signing off from there.
Yeah.
So this is signing off for main segment of Echoes of Saturday, inaugural episode.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yep. Hello and welcome back to Echoes of Saturday. For my segment, we're going to be recapping a famous moment or a big moment, such as rivalry game or a really cool kick or moment from usually around this week in college football history. This week, we are covering the Halloween upset. Michigan State, where Michigan State stuns Michigan and their home stadium in 2020. Imagine this. It's Halloween night, 2020. The air is crisp in Ann Arbor, but the big house is eerily quiet. No roaring crowd, no marching band, no nothing. Mist of COVID, empty stadium. Just as the echoes of a rivalry that's as big as Big Ten college football itself, Michigan versus Michigan State. But let's be honest, no one gave Michigan State a chance. The Spartans had just lost to Rutgers, a team that hadn't won a conference game in years. Michigan, on the other hand, was fresh off a blowout win and ranked 13th in the nation. The spread, insane. Michigan by 24 points. That's 3 touchdowns. But that's the beauty of rivalry week, especially when it lands on Halloween, because strange things happen when the stakes are high and the lights are on. From the opening kickoff, you could tell something was just different for the Spartans' offense. Rocky Lombardi, Michigan State's quarterback, came off firing. Deep balls, precision passes, total confidence. His stat line was shocking. 17 for 32 passing, 323 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He hit the freshman wide receiver Ricky White multiple times for multiple very long completions. White finished with 8 catches for 196 yards and a touchdown. And while Michigan kept it close, led by Joe Milton's 300 passing yards, every time the Wolverines seemed ready to take control, the Spartans just fired back. Late in the fourth quarter, Michigan trailed 27-24. The clock ticked down. The Wolverines drove into Spartan territory and then stopped cold. Michigan State's defense stood tall, 4th down, turnover on downs. That's the ball game. Final score, Michigan State 27, Michigan 24. In just his second game as head coach, Mel Tucker pulled off one of the biggest upsets in rivalry history. He did it in the Big House on Halloween. The win didn't just shock the Big Ten. It revived Michigan State's fire under a first-year coach, reminded everyone, rivalry games don't care about rankings, records, or odds. So, on a spooky night in 2020, while most of us were stuck inside, the Spartans pulled off something unforgettable. A Halloween miracle in maize and green.